Greetings. We want to compare and contrast using arrays versus using array lists. Our objectives, we want to be able to compare how arrays and array lists are the same and also how they're different. We want to be able to code collections using arrays or array lists. When we use arrays or array lists, what we're doing is really creating a single variable to represent a collection of objects or primitives. We should know how to declare, create, access elements, or find the size of a collection. And we should also know what extra features that array lists provide for us, in addition to what an array provides. Both arrays and array lists are ways to keep track of a collection of things, a collection of values. When Java was created, arrays were inherited from they took the basis of Java from C++, and so they included arrays. Arrays are fixed in length. When you created an array object, it has a specific size. It can hold 10 or 20 or however many items in the list. Turns out this is a pretty significant limitation for arrays, and we see that array lists don't have that particular limitation. They can contain or hold a collection of either objects or primitives, whereas array lists can only contain objects. That's not a big deal. And they're also unique in that that's the only place you're going to see the square bracket notation, the left and right square brackets for arrays. Array lists, on the other hand, were created brand new as a collection. They're part of the Java API, and it's one of many classes that handle collections of objects. They're dynamic. You can add to the list, you can take away from the list, in addition to quite a few other things. First, let's just go through some basic things we're going to do with arrays and array lists. First, how do we declare the list variable itself? Here we're going to show two different ways, the array way and the array list way. We're going to declare an array of bank accounts with the first notation. Note the square brackets. Also note that there's no size specified when we create the accounts variable. Accounts can point to any array of bank accounts. And in the second array list notation, you can see what we're creating is a variable of type array list that can hold only bank accounts. We also have the ability pre-Java 5.0 to just create an array list that will hold any object, but we're going to stick with an array list of bank accounts for now. Well, we created the variable, but we didn't create the actual collection. So here's the code to create the collection. The first one is how to create an array of bank accounts, an array of bank accounts that has 10 members in it. That's we have to specify the number. That 10 could be a literal or a variable, but it has to be known at the time that line of code is executed. The next way is the array list, where if you notice there's no size specified. We just say array list of bank accounts, named accounts, equals a new array list of bank accounts. Notice the left and right parentheses. That looks like a constructor, and it is. How do we access a specific element in the collection? Arrays use the square bracket notation. Bank account Fred's accounts equals account sub 3. That's says takes it's actually the fourth. Arrays and array lists both start counting at 0. Takes the fourth member of the accounts array, and makes Fred's accounts point to that. The next one just says that you can use a variable instead of a number, and in the last one we're saying accounts sub 3. We're going to put a new bank account with $1,000. We're going to put that in the fourth element, sub 3. Arrays and array lists are counted like 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So count sub 3 refers to the fourth element. The array list uses a method, not the square brackets, of get, so get is the equivalent in the array list. Accounts.get sub 3 gets the fourth element of the list. You can also actually use the set method to set a particular element. Let's say you've already got the array list populated. We can overwrite the fourth element with a different bank account using the set notation. In any event, any place we could have accessed a single bank account, we can use the accounts sub 3 or the accounts.get sub 3 in the array list notation. How do we find the size of the collection? Oftentimes, now, how do we find the size of the collection? For an array, we say accounts.length. Notice that that's not a method call. That acts like a public instance variable, but we just say array name.length. For an array list, it's an actual method call, and the method call is size. So accounts.size returns how many elements are in the num account, or how many elements are in the accounts array list. Next, how do we add an element to the collection? Well, once you create the array, you can't add an element, so that's NA for that one. For a bank account, we can create, let's say we had a bank account called BA. We could say accounts.add.BA, that would add it to the end, or if we wanted to insert it at a specific location in the accounts array list, we could say accounts.add, name the bank account, and then specify the position that we wanted the new bank account to be in. Similarly, if we want to remove a specific element of a collection, can't do it in an array, so that's an NA. We can do an accounts.remove. We can either supply a literal or a variable to remove an element. That refers to the position in the array list. How about testing for containment? Well, if we wanted to find out if, say, a particular bank account were in our array of bank accounts, we would have to loop through, we'd create a method, loop through it, and test it for ourselves. We don't actually have a handy method. We can, for an array list, we can say if our accounts array list contains a specific bank account, that'll return a Boolean. So that's a handy way to do it. So, what have we learned? Arrays and array lists are both used to access a list of objects, or primitives in the case of arrays. Array lists are much more powerful and much more Java-like. They're real classes with much more familiar object notation. So array lists are more powerful. They're dynamic. You can add or remove from. You can also easily test for containment. There are a lot of the basic operations. You can do them similarly both ways with either an array or array list, but the syntax will be quite different. So in general, I would say array lists are much more versatile and probably very often the container of choice if you're not going to be adding or taking away from the collection.